So make sure everyone's topped up their glass and getting into everything, and then enjoy your evening.
We've had guests come from overseas to be here today. Some friends from since we were kids, some friends new and very new and from this area that have made us all very welcome to the area, and we just wanted to throw a Christmas party and make everyone feel welcome, and thanks for being an absolutely amazing part of our lives. Anyone know where Lauren and Tobias is? There you go.
So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to this very important moment in the lives of Lauren and Tobias, the celebration of their marriage. Today they stand before us to celebrate their love, and it is confirmation of what they themselves already know, that they absolutely love each other, and they look forward to their future together, secure in their love for each other. My name is David Schneider and I'm a marriage celebrant, not Santa, duly authorised to solemnise the wedding here tonight in accordance with the laws of Australia. So this is a happy occasion when they stand here to celebrate their love and their marriage. They know they can never take their relationship for granted. They know that they have found in each other that unique yet mysterious quality whereby they know they are meant for each other. So today there will be the sharing of beautiful words, all surrounded by family and friends whom Tobias and Lauren absolutely adore. And they want their wedding day to be full of memories, fun and laughter. They will make special promises to each other to make their lives one, to enjoy the building of a family life and fully appreciate the lifelong commitment made to each other. They wanted to declare their love for one another in your company, those special people who have been mainstays in their lives, who have loved and supported their journeys leading them here today. And what celebration is complete without family and good friends? That group of people here today who believe in you, listen to you, have the ability to bring you down to earth. And they ask that you continue to take part in their future together and to share in their happiness. And so Tobias and Lauren, you marry each other with your eyes wide open. You've helped each other to let go of the past and to embrace the future. You've made each other laugh and feel secure and worthy in love. You share the joy of a deep commitment and a sacred trust. You've given each other the most precious gift of love. Treasure it, nurture it and encourage it with all the honesty you used in creating it. You are sharing something rare and beautiful. Now they've got a great sense of humour. They want the same things for their future, have similar outlooks on life, and they share similar family ideals. Yet with all these similarities, they are different enough to keep their relationship interesting, unpredictable, and to provide a balance. Since very early on in their relationship, both Tobias and Lauren knew they'd found their partner in life, and they feel that they're a team that faces the world together, and they look forward to a shared journey through their life. Now I'm sure some of you know how Lauren and Tobias first met on New Year's Eve 2016, but they might have actually met years before that when they were teenagers, as when they met at that New Year's Eve party they discovered they had the same group of friends when they were younger. Now I want to read to you what each of them said about that New Year's Eve night. Lauren said, I arrived at a New Year's Eve party with a friend and I was in an extremely shitty mood. I didn't want to go out. I was starving hungry and eventually decided if I'm going to go to the party, I'm going to go all out, and I dressed up properly, including two-sided tape to keep my dress in place. As I exited the lift and started walking down the hallway toward the open kitchen and the party space, I saw Toby up ahead, standing in the middle of the dance floor, talking to a friend of mine from the startup industry. He looked interesting, young, funky, and I gave him a huge smile. And then, from memory, he walked up to my friend John and I, and the first thing he said, he was commenting on how lovely John's jacket was. So of course I thought he was gay. Also given how smart he was dressed. So I just moved on to talk to other people. As the night progressed, Tobe seemed to spend time where I was. And then he asked me out on a date. Tobias said, we did meet at the New Year's Eve party in the city that was being hosted by a girl I'd gone to school with but had not seen in 20 years. I'd been out with the lads the night before, so I felt that was my New Year's Eve as I was really hungover. I had no intention of going to the party as a result. The girl whose party it was kept badgering me all day about whether I was coming and reassuring her, so she was reassuring me that it was going to be awesome. So to get her to leave, me to my suffering, I agreed to go. I had a couple of beers in the fridge, which I duly drank, and said to myself, I can do this, despite not wanting to go at all. So I put on my party clothes, and I shopped for some wine and cheese, as I figured if nothing else, I would at least drink and eat well, as I felt it was all I was in control of, seeing I was still a bit under the weather. So I got to the girl's place, and after a mini debate about actually going up, I rang the doorbell, and I entered hell. It was only her parents and her. Oh dear, what had I got myself in for? So after being grilled by her parents about various things, I found out her mum knew my mum, so I was off the hook. I really wanted to leave, but couldn't. So I opened my wine and I busied myself with the cheese. Finally, people started to arrive. So things got a bit better. Then as I was talking to a new acquaintance, there was a moment where it was as if time stood still and the ding of the elevator captured my attention, which was odd, as many people had come and gone throughout the evening so far. The door opened and out of the elevator glided the most amazing creature I had ever seen. I was instantly captivated by this woman who just owned the space without saying a word. My brain just asked itself, who the hell is this woman? I had to get to know her and her story. Turns out that neither of us really wanted to be at the party. I kept circling Lauren, kind of like a dance, and we just kept ending up in each other's space. Lauren had unknowingly latched onto the cheese I'd brought, and she was scoffing it. Inside, I was very chuffed. Midnight came around, and Lauren said that even though they both wanted to kiss each other at midnight, which they discovered much later, they were standing on opposite sides of the balcony, so they didn't get to share that moment together. Tobias continued with, we had many moments throughout the night, and I realised I was not going to let this woman possibly vanish without me getting to the bottom of what makes her tick. I had to step up to the plate and get the job done. So in a moment on the balcony I said, I'm not sure how you will feel about this, but I'd really like to take you on a date next Wednesday. I figured it would be much more awesome to take her out a few days after New Year to make it clear that I was not interested in a quick party romance. To my surprise, Lauren's reply was yes, but there has to be an activity on this date. So without missing a beat, I said, do you like boats? Lauren said, yes, I do like boats. So I said, leave it to me. He then continued with, much later in the night, after the fireworks, I found myself leaning by the elevator door as if by magic at the moment that Lauren was wanting to leave. She said, what are you doing? And I said, waiting for you. We both went down in the elevator and into the night. So when I asked about that first date, Lauren said, when Tobes had asked me out, my first response was, as long as it's an activity and not a dinner date, I couldn't think of anything worse than being stuck with someone over the course of a meal when you cannot up and leave. Tobes immediately responded by asking whether I like boats. He then sent me a Facebook message the evening of January 2nd and asking me to meet under the clocks at Flinders Street Station at 3 p.m. on the Wednesday. I was running quite late, about 2 trains behind schedule. Tobias had organised to take me on a ferry boat up the Yarra River, and we were cutting it fine to make it on time. But he was so patient and chilled out, it was very sweet. Sitting on the bow of the boat, going up and back down the river again, the conversation flowed, and it felt like we'd always known each other. Then at Pony Island, I went to the bar to get the next round of drinks, and after I walked a metre or two, I walked back to Tobias and said, "There's something I need to do first." And then I grabbed him to kiss him. We had kissed before he left on New Year's Eve to go home, and I stopped him as he went past the couch when he was leaving and kissed him there too. I found Tobias to be such a gentleman and so respectful. Tobias said about that first date. So the first date went to plan, apart from the fact that Loz kept me on my toes by running fashionably late. Well, it gave me time to have a swift pint to get my game face on. It was like the best day ever. I took her on a boat cruise down the Yarra. The captain helped us find a spot on the bow of the boat where we just lay down and didn't stop talking and really just enjoying each other's company. After the cruise, we went to a bar run by a friend of mine. Now, there was a funny moment where I had to untangle Lauren's hair tie that was completely stuck, and it was pretty funny for us. Nearly had to rip some of her hair out. Never had to do that before alone on a first date, he said. We then went for more drinks at Pony Island. We were having a ball, and Lauren announced to me that she was going off to buy another drink for us to enjoy. And as she walked away, she stopped, turned to me and said, "But first I'm going to do this." And we shared our first proper, not New Year's Eve kiss, and it was electric. The rest of the night just felt like we were floating on air and nothing else existed but us. I asked when they knew they were with that special one, and for Tobias, it only took him about 2 weeks to realise that he could not imagine a world where they were apart. He thought he'd been in love before, but Lauren gave him feelings that took everything to a new level. And Lauren said, "I always knew Tobias and I had a special bond and history. Our vastly different life experiences had both led us to the same place with different perspectives, which is how we fit together so well. Tobias seemed to fit into every random area of my life, which is extremely diverse and vast. Life became so much more fulfilling, enjoyable, fun, consistent, exciting, interesting, and mischievous." Now, many people have said to me over the years, "No offence, Lauren, but you're too unique to find someone to keep up with you that you'd find interesting forever. And who would or could put up with you?" She then said, "Then I found my perfect fit." Tobias stopped me in the driveway of our old house in maybe the 3rd week of January. We were getting home from a night out, and he called out to me. He then got down on one knee on the stone path and told me the impact I've had on him, how I've changed his life, how he wants me to be in his life forever, and he wants to have children with me. My heart melted as it was exactly what I wanted to. She then said Tobias proposed around 3 weeks later while we were up in Brisbane staying with my sister. We were out at a bar and he casually asked whether I'd be up for marrying him, completely impromptu. But the engagement felt like it actually occurred to 3 weeks old at the thought of the life he proposed that we shared together for always. And Tobias said, it was February 16, a mere 47 days after we met. We talked about adventures that we would like to go on together and how we would be in years to come. And the words, "Do you want to marry me?" just rolled off the tongue nearly as quickly. Lauren replied, "Yes, it is inevitable that we will get married." And that, ladies and gentlemen, that's what brings us all here tonight. And so Tobias and Lauren, love should be the core of your marriage. Love is the reason that you are here. But it will also take trust to know in your hearts you want the best for each other. And it will take dedication to stay open to one another, to learn and to grow together even when this is not always so easy to do. And it will take faith to always be willing to go forward to tomorrow, but never really knowing what tomorrow will bring. And it will take commitment to hold true to the journey you both now pledge to share together. So love makes burdens lighter because you'll divide them, makes joys more intense because you'll share them, and it makes you stronger so you can reach out and become involved with life in ways that you would never dare risk alone. So cherish every opportunity that allows you to share your beliefs and grow closer to each other and to have a home where there'll be love and stability, where all of you, their family and their friends, will always be welcome. And so, before I join you, Tobias Scherson and you, Lauren Riley, in marriage, in the presence of these witnesses and myself, I must remind you of the solemn and the binding nature of the relationship into which you are about to enter. Marriage, according to the law in Australia, is a voluntary union of two people. It is made in the deepest sense to the exclusion of all others and entered into for life. And so now I'd like to ask officially, Tobias, do you take Lauren to be your lawfully wedded wife? And do you promise to love her, be honest with her, and to stand by her through whatever may come, so you can have your happily ever after, so long as you both shall live?
I do.
Thank you. Lauren, do you take Tobias to be your lawfully wedded husband? Do you promise to love him, be honest with him, to stand by him through whatever may come, so you can have your happily ever after, so long as you both shall live?
I do.
Thank you. Tobias and Lauren, with the love and the support of your family and friends, you celebrate one of life's greatest moments and give recognition to the worth and beauty of love as you join together in vows of marriage. As you look at one another, you will remember this moment in time. And now you shall say a few words that take you across the threshold of life. And for after these vows, you shall say to the world, "This is my husband, this is my wife." I'd now like to ask if you could please recite the vows that you have written.
Tobes, you are my dearest friend and most beloved partner. I love you, I trust you, and I belong with you. Your love and patience is so special to me. To say I love you is not enough. To try and condense the depth of my feelings into a few words is not possible, but let me try. You took me at my worst. You took me for who I am. You took my hand. You took my heart. You took me into your heart. You took my breath away. You took me to new heights. You took me away. You took me to places that I've never been. You took me beyond. You took me to the other side. You took me from my troubles and you took me home. And home is where I want to be. If to say I love you means all of these things, then let me say that I love you more each day. I want to be with you always, just as you are. I choose you above all others to share my life with me in marriage. I love you for yourself, and I want you to become all that you can be. Tobias, in front of these witnesses, I take you as my lawfully wedded husband to have and to hold from this day forward. For better or worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and in health, and to love and to cherish you. I declare my love for you and my desire to be with you always as husband and wife. I will honour this promise as long as we both shall live.
Lauren, I feel honoured to be loved by such a kind, generous person. A woman who can ask much of love and gives endlessly in return. A woman who never lets me go unchallenged. Your loving and honest presence in my life helps me live with a deeper compassion and more soulful awareness. I love you for yourself, and I want you to become all that you can be. I adore your qualities of love, generosity, and sense of humour. I love to hear you laugh, and I love to see your beautiful smile. Lauren, in front of these witnesses, I take you as my lawful wedded wife. I will always take care of you no matter what the future holds.
If we could have the rings, please. The perfect circle of a ring symbolises eternity and is a valued and treasured possession. It demonstrates a continuing bond and an infinite commitment, which are the foundation stones of married life. As you give your rings to each other, our wish is that your love will be as eternal and everlasting as these rings. In the years to come, they will remind you of the overwhelming joy of this special occasion. So Tobias, if you could please take Lauren's ring. As you place it on her left finger, please repeat after me. Lauren, from this day forward.
Lauren, from this day forward.
You shall not walk alone.
You shall not walk alone.
My heart will be your shelter.
My heart will be your shelter.
My arms will be your home.
My arms will be your home.
Thank you. Lauren, if you could please take Tobias's ring. As you place it on his left finger, thank you. Please repeat after me. Tobias, today I promise to stand with you.
Tobias, today I promise to stand with you
as we share this life
as we share this life
and to cherish the memories we make together. I place this ring on your finger
I place this ring on your finger
as a symbol of my constant faith,
as a symbol of my constant faith,
abiding love and belief that I was chosen to live my life with you.
With you.
Thank you very much. Tobias and Lauren, today marks the continuation of a beautiful life full of memories which you have promised to share together in marriage. Today you have exchanged vows of love and you have exchanged your rings, and so it is with the greatest of pleasure I now pronounce you to be husband and wife. Tobias, you may now kiss your bride.
Secular Arsenal.
I would now like to ask Lauren and Tobias and the witnesses Damien and John to please join me as we sign the marriage register. Signing there. That'll win. Good one. Wonderful. Mrs. Sherson, would you please sign your normal signature? Good one. Wonderful. Just stay seated. Okay, who's up first? Excellent. Thank you very much.
I know. John?
Which you join heart and hand today, grow deeper and surer with every year that you spend together. May you dare to dream dreams not yet dreamt, and may you never tire of the endless possibilities of exploring your shared existence. And so on behalf of everyone present, we wish you happiness both today and every day throughout your marriage. So ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome and congratulate for the first time our newly married couple, Mr. and Mrs. Tobias and Lauren Sherson.
Firstly, I'd like to thank you all for being here. I hope you've all recovered from having a bit of a heart attack when you discovered why you were actually really here. Yes, it is Christmas, but it's also the most amazing day of my life. Getting to marry the now Mrs. Sherson, but when I met her, she was Lauren Riley, and wow, as you heard during the ceremony, from the moment I laid eyes on her, she took my soul, my heart, my mind, every part of me, and she's now the keeper of all those for the rest of our lives. So I feel very honoured and very privileged to have her as my wife.
Yeah.
Lauren and I would both like to thank everyone who helped out with the ceremony today. You're all very near and dear to us, and you've all had an impact on all of our lives. I would particularly like to thank Mr. John Perry, who has been just such a part of Lauren and my lives, especially, well, I can say for over only the last year, but for many years with Lauren. And John's support of us has just been just absolutely phenomenal. He's been a confidant to both of us, an amazing friend, and someone just to have fun with and a laugh with and just, you know, kick about, and he is an outstanding human being. So from the bottom of our hearts, John, we would like to thank you especially.
The invoice is on its way. Good call, John.
Plus your 10%.
What are you rating?
But today is it's about my darling wife, Lauren. And Yes, Mrs. Sherson, my wife. And I would like to sing a song for my wife. I hope my voice holds up. I'm going to be accompanied by the amazing Ed Wong, who spent a little bit of time with me last Saturday at his beautiful property having a bit of a sing-along. And, well, hopefully I do my wife proud this evening. You say you want diamonds and ring of gold. You say you want your story to remain untold. But all the promises we made from the cradle to the grave, when all I want is you. You say you'll give me a highway with no one on it, a treasure just to look upon it, all the riches of the night. You say you'll give me eyes in a moon of blindness, a river in a time of dryness, a harbor in the tempest. But all the promises we made from the cradle to the grave, when all I want is you, is you. You say you want our love to work out right, to last with me through the night. You say you want your story to remain untold, our love not to grow cold. But all the promises we made from the cradle to the grave, when all I want